On camera, she laughed while she badgered her staff. And so all good things must end. And also the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, the 83-year-old entertainer just announced that the upcoming 19th season of her show will be its last. Apparently, she created a workplace more toxic than an Amazon warehouse in Chernobyl. Countless allegations surfaced last summer that the show's work environment was rife with harassment and discrimination. Following those charges, Ellen's ratings dropped faster than Kevin Spacey's pants at a boy band pool.
Ellen DeGeneres always said, be kind. But Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld just said, be ready. Because they're tearing through her squeaky clean persona like it's clearance week at Bed Bath & Beyond. Forget the dancing and dad jokes. This exposed is juicier than a Real Housewives reunion with wine flying in all directions. What did Ellen really do? Why are Hollywood insiders suddenly silent? And how did Greg end up smack in the middle of it all? Buckle up. This rabbit hole is lined with sequins and secrets.
Choose article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right.
Once upon a time in the magical kingdom of Hollywood, where publicists roam free and egos are larger than Marvel budgets, ruled a queen with a pixie cut and a platinum smile. She danced, she hugged, and she handed out oversized checks like a sneaker-wearing Oprah. She was Ellen DeGeneres, the patron saint of niceness. Or so the story went.
It was just the excuse. She is, Emily, I watched her comedy special. It was like a huge pity party. It was about how she was lamenting how her reputation has suffered. She's essentially as popular as a pit bull with monkeypox. But she's putting this on Trump. Do you think that she's going to be, just everybody's going to love her?
Behind the scenes. Well, if Willy Wonka had run his chocolate factory like Ellen allegedly ran her show, the Oompa Loompas would have unionized by season 3. For years, Ellen's image was so squeaky clean you could serve brunch off it. Her brand was sunshine dipped in rainbows topped with dairy-free whipped cream. But behind the glitter was rot. And that rot wore headsets, cried in green rooms, and avoided eye contact like it was dodgeball at a trauma center.
Question for you on this. This is perfect for you. Because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality.
Yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty biatch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, I had this birthday party, and Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person.
Enter Megyn Kelly. If Ellen was the empress of feel-good, Megyn was the leather-jacketed vigilant of media hypocrisy, kicking the doors down and flipping the kindness couch upside down. She didn't just walk into the story, she barged in with purpose and a metaphorical flashlight. She didn't care about the Hollywood groupthink. She came ready with receipts, or at least an opinion printer that never runs out of ink. While the world tried to dismiss the Ellen allegations as another weird chapter of 2020, Megyn walked into the wreckage and lit a match.
So Ellen and her wife, Portia, have left their millionaire haven of Montecito for England. Now, they're saying they'll never come back in the wake of Trump's win. Do you think that's the reason why she's leaving?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellen got canceled for real a few years ago from just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a single comment she said or something she did, just lots of people saying that working for her was a living nightmare and that she's a jerk.
She pointed out the real scandal, not that Ellen allegedly made interns cry, but that no one in the media seemed surprised or even willing to speak up. Megyn, ever the dissecting scalpel of soft hypocrisy, posed the uncomfortable question. If a conservative woman had even a fraction of Ellen's workplace complaints, would she still be on air, or would she be live streaming her deposition? Megyn didn't stop at Ellen. She zoomed out, exposing Hollywood's entire system of selective outrage. The red carpet, she noted, is basically an excuse mat where celebrities with the right opinions wipe off their scandals before stepping into the spotlight. In Megyn's view, Ellen's fall wasn't a tragic accident. It was a long-delayed reckoning. Her brand wasn't under attack, it was under audit, and Megyn brought the calculator.
I think also
I'm
to
just saying,
admit
like,
your
of
mistakes.
all people on earth to be feeling sorry for herself, Ellen DeGeneres should not be on the list.
She should at least, but make a real apology and do it.
There's no apology. It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure.
Then came Greg Gutfeld. You know, the guy who looks like he teaches sarcasm in a bunker while sipping Red Bull through a crazy straw. If Megyn was the prosecutor, Gutfeld was the insult comic at the trial, roasting the defendant mid-testimony. He didn't use a scalpel, he brought a chainsaw. Not out of malice, but because his whole personality is built on mocking Hollywood's absurdity with the precision of someone who's memorized every Bond villain monologue. He looked at the Ellen situation and asked, since when did be kind mean running a workplace that feels like a dystopian boot camp run by Satan's yoga instructor? If kindness was a mask, Ellen had more layers than a Kardashian wedding cake. Gutfeld didn't just poke fun. He imagined a new version of The Ellen Show where guests wore helmets, staff communicated only via post-it notes, and dancing was replaced by mandatory HR briefings. He painted Ellen not as a kind queen betrayed by rumors, but as a robotic performer, smiling on cue, handing out fake empathy, and terrifying everyone backstage.
And told the Today Show, home of Matt Lauer, that the bad press actually had nothing to do with her decision. Right, and the Titanic didn't hit an iceberg, it chose to sink.
If it was why I was quitting, I would have not come back this year. I really did think about not coming back because it did, it was devastating. I am a kind person. I am a person who likes to make people happy.
No, the real reason, she says, is it was just too easy. Telling the Hollywood Reporter, quote, when you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is, and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore. Well, if that's true, here's an idea. When your viewership is down 43%, why not consider that the challenge?
What made this takedown explosive wasn't just the target, it was the contrast in weapons. Megyn came in like a surgeon, focused, ruthless, and aimed straight at the media's double standards. She called out how some celebrities get image rehab arcs while others get torched. Meanwhile, Gutfeld rolled in with a flamethrower and a grin. He joked that no one made a sitcom about Ellen's green room because HBO said it was too dark. Suddenly, Hollywood went silent. The same crowd that used to cheer for Ellen's every dad joke suddenly developed selective laryngitis. A few posted half-hearted Instagram tributes that read like they weren't sure if they'd signed an NDA. Others vanished completely. And through it all, Megyn kept hammering. While the media praised Ellen's PR-polished apologies like gospel, Megyn saw a crisis management script stitched together with desperation.
Let her back in, Rob, because she's a lesbian, she's a leftist, and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
Well, I think everyone, I will say, like, the resentment, I think everyone should have a chance for reconciliation. I don't think Jesus exempted anybody. And so I do, while it does, because I have been allowed back in, but I don't hold any grievance and resentment. It's very important. And I would just say for Ellen, the resentment, you have to get over resentment to whatever addiction or addictive qualities happen. To get over it, you have to deal with resentment and address it. And then otherwise you're going to fall back into the same.
Megyn asked the bigger question. Why do we excuse toxic behavior just because it comes with a smile and good lighting? Ellen's real trick wasn't dancing. It was convincing people that kindness on camera equals moral sainthood. Meanwhile, according to reports, her staff was holding monthly meetings called How to Avoid Eye Contact and Still Get Paid. Greg, never one to be outdone, turned Ellen's downfall into a comedy class in chaos. He said her final season felt like a hostage video shot on a pastel set where the plants were fake, and so was the goodwill. Watching her goodbye episodes was like being at a retirement party no one remembered or cared to show up for. But here's the thing, Megyn and Greg weren't just bored bullies taking shots at Ellen. Their critiques hit a nerve because they revealed something bigger: how easily we let certain celebrities slide just because they match our politics and make us laugh. Ellen wasn't the exception. She was the rule, just with better lighting. Megyn's closing point: this wasn't about canceling Ellen. It was about canceling the free pass system, the one where some public figures get immunity from accountability as long as they say the right things. She wasn't mad that Ellen existed. She was mad that the system let her operate unchecked for so long.
She was like, well, that's my time. Later, Marks, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then just leave them behind to go.
Yeah, they don't have the choice. They must stay in the hell of Trump. We're out of here. By the way, Walter.
I think we could let the illegal aliens stay if we get enough of Hollywood to self-deport.
Yes. I will take 1,000.
You know, exactly.
I'll take 1,000 Venezuelan migrants for one share.
Exactly.
Greg's final jab: the entertainment industry has become a bizarre zoo where bad behavior gets forgiven with the right hashtag. And Ellen, for all her dance moves and Oscar selfies, was the zookeeper who forgot to lock the gate. When Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld are agreeing on something, you know something's gone really sideways, or Ellen's empire is truly on fire. These two don't even breathe the same ideological oxygen, let alone collaborate. But somehow, Ellen's pastel-drenched, smile-polished world managed to unite them in mutual disbelief. Megyn came in like a lawyer with a grudge and a color-coded folder full of names. Who protected Ellen? Who looked the other way? And why, if a regular boss terrorized employees, they'd get fired, but Ellen got another Emmy and a fruit basket from Apple?
Trump is truly responsible for Ellen's exodus. Shouldn't that go down as his greatest achievement in the last 8? I mean, he should get the Nobel Prize.
He's literally going to have a who's who of left. I mean, the entire 80s music catalog is gone. You got Springsteen, Cher, Madonna. I just don't know why they keep showing pictures of Aaron Rodgers with blonde hair.
Meanwhile, Greg approached this mess like a raccoon with a microphone, uninvited, unfiltered, and ready to rummage through the ruins. While Megyn handed out indictments, Greg was roasting marshmallows over Ellen's burning stage. He wasn't looking for justice. He was entertained by the sheer ridiculousness of it all. Then came the apology. Oh boy. Ellen delivered it like a hostage reading a ransom note. If I made anyone feel, stop. That's PR 101 for not really sorry but okay. Megyn didn't buy it. She called it exactly what it was, a desperate, insincere PR stunt. Greg, he said it felt like a bad SNL sketch where no one knew whether they were accepting an award or confessing to a crime. The internet didn't let it slide. Twitter roasted, Reddit dragged, even Facebook aunties raised eyebrows. The once loyal fan base stopped dancing and started squinting. Ellen's show finally ended in 2022, not with a bang but with a tired sigh. Ratings flatlined. Guests ghosted. The only ones who missed her were the teleprompters, still waiting to be read with fake joy. Ellen, once daytime royalty, walked off stage with her sneakers, residuals, and no halo. Megyn thrived. Leaving corporate media turned out to be her power move. Her podcast exploded. Real talk, real fire, zero fluff. Greg, his show Gutfeld, became a ratings juggernaut. Turns out sarcasm and common sense beat celebrity worship. Who knew?